Landman Season 1 was one of the best things I've watched in recent years. It was an absolutely amazing start to 2025. I know the ending of Yellowstone made us all question Taylor Sheridan's talent as a writer, but now Landman proves he is back with yet another amazing project that deserves a second chance. So, let's talk about what will happen in the second season of the show and when to expect it. First of all, I think we can all agree that what makes Landman so great is its leading character, Tommy. Just like John Dutton in Yellowstone, Tommy is far from your typical hero. In true Taylor Sheridan fashion, he's not the clean-cut, all-American good guy you'd expect. Instead, Tommy is cynical, world-weary, and constantly wrestling with his own shortcomings, which is exactly what makes him so magnetic. There's something about his complexity that keeps you hooked. Billy Bob himself described him as a guy who's always sort of on the edge of things. And I think that's the perfect way to sum him up. He's never fully settled into who he is, and that vulnerability is what draws you in. Sure, he makes questionable decisions that would make most people cringe, but you can't help but root for him, and that's what I love about his character. He's real. Even when he makes a mess of things, you feel like there's a chance for redemption. This is exactly why I'm holding out hope for a second season of Landman. I feel like Tommy still has so much more to offer, and there's a lot to dive into with his character. We've only scratched the surface, and I can't wait to see how his journey evolves. And on this note, we need to talk about Billy Bob's performance in the show. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like his portrayal has added so much depth to Tommy. Any other actor wouldn't have done justice to the character. This is the most perfect casting ever. The fact that Tommy is so far from perfect makes him all the more fascinating. He's not here to be a role model or a knight in shining armor. He's just a guy trying to make it in a world that's constantly throwing curveballs his way. And because of that, he's one of the most captivating characters on TV right now. Now let's get into that jaw-dropping season finale. If you were like me, you were left with so many questions after it ended. Sheridan seriously needs to give us more closure. The biggest question still hanging in the air is whether Monty survived that aneurysm. We're still waiting for the answer. But we do know one thing for sure. His wife, Cammie, is not backing down. When Monty collapsed, it turned their whole world upside down, just when she was about to close a major deal to sell their oil company. Now Cammie is taking control, and I'm here for it. I honestly don't know if it's Demi Moore's incredible performance or the fact that Cammie is written as one of the most well-rounded characters in the show, but I'm hoping she steps into a leading role for Season 2. I feel like she could really carry the show, and I'm curious to see how her story will unfold. What do you think of Cammie? Should she take the spotlight in the next season? Speaking of high stakes, let's talk about the cartel. Their presence in the story adds so much tension, and it definitely keeps me on the edge of my seat. While dealing with corporate rivals is tough, adding organized crime into the mix raises the danger factor by a mile. The cartel's involvement in the oil business is not only terrifying, but also incredibly fascinating. On the one hand, I can't stand to see Tommy suffer because of them, but on the other hand, it's so interesting to watch how he plans to fight back. Billy Bob hinted at Tommy's inner conflict when he said, "Tommy's the kind of guy who's always trying to survive, but he's not sure if he's doing it the right way." That's classic Tommy, right? He has these ideas and strategies, but he's never fully sure if they'll work out or if he's even on the right path. That uncertainty is what makes him such a compelling character. He's constantly doubting himself, even as he moves forward. Do you think Tommy will win against the cartel, or do you think it'll be his downfall? Let me know your thoughts. And of course, we can't forget about Angela. As far as we know, she's only going to add more drama and excitement to Season 2. We know that her relationship with Tommy isn't over yet, and I'm excited to see how their past will be explored in more depth. The idea of a second chance at romance between them is intriguing, and it could bring a lot of emotional depth to the next season. Personally, I'm rooting for them to get back together, but I'm also open to seeing where their story goes. It could add a whole new layer to Tommy's character if he tries to reconcile his past with Angela while juggling all the chaos in his. Thanks for watching and subscribe my channel.